Welcome everyone. Very happy to see you here with this new growth story here, really specific to Outbound Engine. We have with us today Thiago, who is growth and strategy at Webgate. So first of all, welcome Thiago. Thank you for being here and sharing your growth story with us. The goal is that we start with you presenting what you do at Webgate, what is your scope, and if you could just give also a few words about Webgate as a whole.
Sure. No, perfect, Lucas. Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to share my experience with Webgate and with you guys during this talk. One of my initial goals was to manage this project and to test this new approach as a growth avenue for Webgate. Just for you guys who doesn't know, Webgate is a video collaboration tool. It's a German video collaboration tool, mainly used by film producers in Germany, but also used by communication agencies and any type of video creators. And it's a company that has been very successful in the German market, mainly selling itself by word of mouth. And last year, we decided to test new approaches to grow it. And one of those being the automated sales outbound process. And we've been running that for roughly 6 months now.
Yeah, nice. Thank you for this. And it's true. Yeah, some people have been using Webgate, such as the ones behind the series Dark on Netflix, which is also one of my favorite shows. So yeah, it was when I knew that, I was pretty happy to see that. It was a great coincidence. Cool. And also for the knowledge of the audience, Thiago was also quite knowledgeable about outbound. You've done like some campaigns before, and also that kind of helped with our collaboration and into understanding the value of the outbound engine in general. And so, as you said, Webgate was quite recent when you started working for them. And here at this stage, what were the main issues that you have with Webgate at this point? And more in relation to the outbound engine, how did the outbound engine help you out with these issues?
Sure. Yeah, I think that the main issue we faced when we started this project was the lack of outbound engagement with customer prospects or anything. As I said, the product was being sold by word of mouth, and there were very little investments in sales and markets from Webgate Spot, with 100% of the conversations coming from inbound, like companies coming to us. So we wanted to revert that, and we wanted to test new approaches to proactively start conversations with potential clients. So I think that was the main thing. On top of that, we also wanted to understand if there were use cases for adjacent markets, so companies not necessarily the film producers, but also other types of companies. We wanted to have a better understanding of our pricing, if our pricing worked outside of our core market, and also test the approach of reaching out to people through automated emails, test messages, and understand what type of reactions we would get.
Okay, great. And so if you want to elaborate a bit more about this testing phase, because it was one of your main objectives, the ones you communicated when starting this outbound engine program, how did it roll out from your perspective in that sense? And how did the outbound engine help you achieve this goal of testing? Can you just give me a bit more background there?
The first thing that we did, which was very helpful, was to start segmenting our markets and then thinking about which are the ideal customer profiles for Webgate, creating hypotheses around that. And that was something that hasn't been done before. So today we have a much more concrete understanding. Since we started really prospecting, sending messages to companies, we talked with, we messaged over 7,000 companies, and that's pretty much in the last 3 to 4 months. And there's a much bigger market for us that we have identified for us to continue prospecting. So we do have still a lot of work to do over the next month.
Mm-hmm.
So so that's the first thing, testing and understanding what's the potential market for us. And then after that, the process is to identify what's the right language to promote Webgate. And this process of defining the language, of course, it's needed. It's necessary for crafting messages that we use to prospect, but it also feeds us back with things that work and are effective to define the WebGate story that we will later use for attracting investors that we're using in our website, in marketing materials, videos, etc. So I think thinking on how to communicate through the automated sales outbound has also made us better understand how to tell the WebGate story and explain different use cases to different client types.
Yeah, so it's nice, very interesting, because outbound is not necessarily a channel you could use when you're sure about the product that you've made and you say, okay, let's scale the market, or let's really tackle the market fully. But it could also come at a much earlier stage where it is more about validating your messaging, or fine-tuning your value proposition, or optimizing your pricing, thanks to outbound, because you can get some qualitative feedback out of through this channel, basically, if you manage to schedule some calls and so forth, and get a feedback in terms of just a return of the market, or the different segments of the markets as you reach out to them through outbound. So very, very interesting points. Do you have any facts or like numbers that you could share about how your company or your WebGate just improved, especially by using starting to use outbound from the start of the program till the end of the program?
So yeah, as I said, in terms of companies today, we're prospecting roughly 3,000 companies per month. And that's growing as well because we're increasing capacity of in terms of the number of emails that we can send out. We are learning things even from who gets a better type of responses and how to set up email address so that you can improve responses. So we've been we during the course of the project, we added someone in our team who enabled us to increase the capacity, the volume of emails sent every month. And now we're creating new email addresses to even increase that further. So we're growing as we speak, the volume of messages we can put out. So as I said, today we were roughly around 3,000, above 3,000 companies per month.
And so if we come back more to the also the implementation, the transfer of knowledge, you have this whole then engine that's really implemented internally. So not just about you mastering the whole process from A to Z, but also this new person who joins, who's been onboarding as we were going through the program. So this is also this major achievement where you'll be able to scale this on your own, this Outbound engine further, because you really know all the aspects behind, including optimizing your campaigns, of course, by doing some experiments and learning which metrics to impact and so forth. Right. Great, superb. I think, thank you for sharing all of that. Last question that I have, what would you say to someone thinking about joining this program? Like, what would be the recommendation we could give, or just whatever feedback you could provide there?
My personal experience, Luca, was very positive. As I worked with marketing and sales before. I had some little experience with this automated sales process in the past, but nothing compared to what we did in the last month. So I feel today, well, that I learned how to run a process like that, and that's very valuable. Just before working at WebGate, I was mainly doing enterprise level business development, which is very different from this automated sales outbound. And now I feel more equipped to cover different aspects, different ranges of business development, from the low value automated high volume up to low volume targeted enterprise level sales. So that I think getting to learn that was very valuable for me. So I would recommend for someone who's trying to improve or increase its business development portfolio.
Super. Well, thank you very much, Thiago, for your time and for sharing all of this. Very insightful, and very happy to see that you're just happy yourself of all the progress and all the implementation you've done with this outbound engine. So thank you again for sharing your story. And to everyone, well, we're having our outbound engine program in case you want to get started in launching your own outbound activities, and make sure you have this engine implemented internally. So up to the next time. Thank you, Thiago. See you.
Cool. Thank you, Lucas. Bye-bye.